welcome to True You True Moments. I'm Kourtney Coleman, your personal hypnotherapist, your business and life mindset consultant, author, and speaker. I want to thank you for joining me today on True You True Moments. This is the informal podcast where I share with you intuitive downloads or inspired hits that I get that just help you to continue to discover more about yourself and stay true to the real you. You can get more information about me at kourtneycoleman.wordpress.com. And for now, let's go to this episode of True You True Moments. I'm Kourtney Coleman.
Anyway, hola. Guy says hello. That's my service dog. Um, Hola. This is a true you, true moment with Kourtney Coleman here, and so that means this is going to be a short one, as long as I can keep her quiet. Quiet, sweetie. So this one, the title of it, Guy, come here, cause you want some loving, which is interesting for today's title. If loving me and living for me is wrong, I don't want to be right. So, listen up, people pleasers and caretakers. Listen up. It's okay that you want people around you to be happy and pleased with you so that you feel accepted and loved. I get it. It's true you true moment, right? It's okay that you love taking care of people to fulfill your need of being needed and important. See, when I rub her, she starts moaning. What's not okay is when you neglect yourself so much that you lose your identity, that you no longer know what makes you genuinely happy because of your pursuit of making the other person or people happy. You're lost in their world. You're consumed with making them happy. So you're out of touch with yourself. You just don't know you anymore. You are foreign to yourself. It's just like you have, how do I describe this? You have no idea what makes you happy anymore. You don't know what you like anymore because you're so focused on pleasing other people or begging for their approval and acceptance. So you become numb to you, numb to what your needs are, and you don't exist for you. You exist for other people. So you're now like just this machine that just takes care of everybody and everything else for everybody, but you neglect your own self. Um, Doing things basically begging for approval and acceptance and love. I mean, from the simplest things of you want to thank you for cooking dinner, you want a compliment for cooking dinner, and you sit on pins and needles after you've thought all of this through of how to cook and what to cook and how it's going to taste and how it's going to be, and you work your butt off trying to do that just to hear a thank you, dinner was good. I get it. I get it. And it's like wanting that acceptance from that person so bad, you get consumed with it. You never want to make the person disappointed or unhappy. And that's where you get lost. You get lost in trying to please the other person. And as my therapist says, you're asking the person who doesn't have it to give it to you. So you're asking the wrong person and you're never going to get what you're looking for from that person. So I need to love myself enough to make me happy and to set things up for me to be happy. It's okay for me to take care of other people and do things for other people. But if loving me and living for me is wrong, I don't want to be right. Um, this is supposed to be a short one, right? So, what do you do if you find yourself being the people pleaser and the caretaker, and you are feeling like you're locked in this cycle and you don't want to be because you've noticed, which is the first step? You have to notice something, right? Discover something. Something's not right. This doesn't feel good. Why do I feel this way all the time? If you start questioning, you're noticing that something isn't right. So accept responsibility. Accept responsibility for your part of And when I say accept responsibility, it's the, okay, I'm doing too much. Okay, this is not normal. Okay, it shouldn't be like this. That's what I mean to accept responsibility. And then we have to set boundaries and priorities. And one interesting thing that I learned from therapy was I used to always think boundaries meant like, this is my wall, this is where war happens, this is, this is that line of demarcation. But boundaries, I have a different perspective now. I'm way back here and the boundaries are up here, but it's meant to, there's a distance. It's meant to be my safe space. That's what the boundaries are. It's my safe space. I can move around all here and there, and I can let people in as long as they respect the boundaries, the gates, the things that are permissible in that space. And if not, then they have to go. So I have a different definition and outlook now about boundaries. So what do? You notice. You're like, something's not right here, and you notice the patterns that you're doing, and it's a feeling. I think for me that was it was this feeling that I was like begging for acknowledgement and thank yous, and it was just this thing that was just roaring underneath for me. And I noticed that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm literally waiting on pins and needles for this thing to happen. And then I'd just be disappointed and frustrated that it never happened. So I had to accept responsibility that, I'm doing this. I'm waiting for this thing to happen. Do I or did I have a conversation that this is what I want from that person? Or am I just expecting something from that person that I'm just not going to get because they don't have it to give to me? And then the boundaries, again, it's not a line of demarcation. It's a space. I'm going to say boundaries are space, how I have my new perspective, the space in which I can move around in and that other people can come and move around in. But if they don't respect what's inside of this bubble, then they have to go. So I no longer see it as a line of war for me. I see it as a space in which people can be in my world and move around. And then the priorities. I deserve to be a priority. It makes no sense, even though we've done it, where we've prioritized people over ourselves. Like on an airplane, if you don't put your air mask on first, how are you going to help somebody else? Like, it doesn't work that way. You have to prioritize you in order for you to be the best you can be for someone else, in order for you to be the most helpful person that you can be for somebody else. You have to take care of you first. Find you again. Spend some time with yourself and find out what you like again, what you don't like, what you do want to do, what you don't want to do. All of those things, you have to rediscover you again, because you're now not going to be prioritizing somebody else first. You're prioritizing yourself first. And then get professional help. Seek help from a psychologist. And thank God these days it's becoming more normal to see a psychologist. And it's very important that you do. Everybody thinks, oh, I don't need one. We all need a psychologist. So check with your insurance to see what that might be. Even if you have an EAP program at your job, they give you like maybe 3 to 5 sessions for free. And then you can see if you need to carry on or how to go forward from there. But please, I admonish you to make sure that you see a psychologist as soon as possible, because you've probably already waited too long. You don't have to wait for your world to blow up in order for you to go and get help. Even if you think, oh no, I'm fine, I don't need one, I don't have any issues, go see a psychologist. It's for your benefit. It doesn't hurt. It's work. It is work. It does not always feel good, but you're going to appreciate yourself more because you prioritize yourself and your health. So, if you've lost yourself, go find yourself. Because if living for you and loving you is wrong, you shouldn't want to be right. Until next time, I'm Kourtney Coleman, and this has been a True You, True Moment.